If you just finished the sales tax video, close the Preferences window by clicking OK. Otherwise, you can open the sample landworks_items file to follow along, or you can just watch the video. So this video will show you all the things you can do to change items. You can make changes to items you've set up. For example, you may need to raise the price of an item, or you want to delete or hide an item you no longer use. Changes you make do not affect existing transactions, but transactions you create after you make the change will use the updated information. So let's go ahead and open the items list by clicking the Items and Services icon. Before I get into editing items, I just want to point out a couple of things about QuickBooks lists. All the lists work the same, so this will come in handy for later. You can widen the columns by moving the cursor between the headings on the dotted line and then dragging to the left or right. And you can sort the list by a particular column. Just click the column heading. I like them sorted by type. I'll leave it like that. Now let's edit an item. The price of the bird bath ice eliminator has changed, so I need to edit the item. So first locate the item and then double click. I need to update both the cost and the sales price. And as I mentioned, if you change an item's price, it doesn't affect existing transactions that use that item. So price went up $5, so I'll make that $25. And I'll make this $40. And then click OK. And now you can see the price is now updated in the item list. Another thing you might need to change frequently is the tax rate. So I'll open a sales tax item and type the new rate, which has gone up to 0.35. And click OK. And now you can see that the local rate went up to 0.35, and QuickBooks also updated the sales tax group rate. Next, I'll show you how to delete or hide items. You can only delete items that have not been used in a transaction. If the item has been used in a transaction, you can hide it instead. Suppose, for example, you have an item for a product that you have sold in the past but you no longer carry. You can hide it so the item list shows only the items you currently use. So let's say I no longer want to provide my weekly garden maintenance service. So click it once in the list and go to the Item menu and choose Delete Item. And then click OK to confirm. If you want to delete an item that has been used in a transaction, you can make it inactive. Making something inactive doesn't delete it, it just hides it to make your list easier to manage. Let's say I want to delete the fountain light. So select it once, and go to the Item menu, and I'll just show you what happens if you try to delete it. QuickBooks will show you a message that it can't be deleted, and you could either choose Make Inactive here, or you could change Make Item Inactive in the menu. And you can see the fountain light is no longer in the list. At the bottom of the item list, you'll now see Include Inactive, and if you select that, you can see that the fountain light I just made inactive appears with an X in this left column here. If you want to make it active again, just click it. One thing to keep in mind is that the item list can hold up to 14,500 items. So if you plan to have a lot of items, it might make sense to use somewhat generic items. For example, suppose you sell cowboy boots in hundreds of colors and thousands of embellishments. Instead of creating an item for each color embellishment combination, just make items based on color. So, for example, purple boots, red boots, green boots, and so on. So here's a tip. If you click F2, QuickBooks opens up the product information window. Here in the list information section, you can scroll down and see how many items you have. I have a whopping 38 items. Let's just click OK to close that, and then close the item list.